Greetings, April 24th, 2015. I'm with a framed copy of of a reproduction of the cover of the Jewish Transcript, December 4th, 1998, the second section, Section B, with the Happy Hanukah artwork. And I received this back from the successor by name, which is called the JT News, Voice of Jewish Washington, since around 2002 or 3. The paper recently folded, alas, after 90 years of publication, a victim of declining readership among younger age Jewish community members in Washington State in the digital revolution. So here's a copy of the original page paper, and I'm going to read the accompanying story inside for YouTube viewers here, and then I'll do a kind of close-up of the reproduction of the art. The original is owned by someone who lives in Bellevue, Washington. Our artist shares inspiration for a cover drawing and a funny family story, special to the transcript. Turn the camera around. Okay. This drawing of a Seattle theme menorah, then in parentheses, quote, a drawing for a Seattle Hanukah lamp, copyright 1998, ink and gouache on paper, illustrates something about art that I believe to be true. Most artists derive inspiration from the world around. I am no exception. A so-called traditionalist among you might say, how can you have a menorah made out of such images as a propeller airplane and the Seattle Space Needle? And I say, aha! If you look at Hanukkah menorahs and other ceremonial religious objects made in every country that Jews have lived over many centuries, you'll see that form follows function. The outside culture has synthesized itself time and again into Jewish religious life. For examples, see the designs of synagogue architecture, interior and exterior. Torah arcs, finials, holders and breastplates, wedding rings and ketubas, candelabras, prayer book illuminations, wine goblets, Pesach plates, and much more. Each were influenced by local and prevailing artistic styles, methods, and materials. The clothes people wore, native plants, flowers, animals, and birds appear in manuscript and prayer book illustration and on gravestones. Why should Seattle in 1998 be any different from the last 3,000 years elsewhere? My Seattle Hanukkah lamp drawing offers a perfect example. We live in Seattle, and the Space Needle is our most famed landmark. Why not a Space Needle menorah? Let's say I find a sculptor to collaborate with, and we actually construct a three-dimensional working menorah. It contains just what's needed to meet the function of a Hanukkah menorah. Holders for 9 candles, including the shamash. Everything else is designed fun. And there isn't a rabbi or learned Jewish man or woman in the entire world who will say that such a Hanukkah couldn't be used at Hanukkah. Everything in the drawing was derived from things and tchotchkes lying around my apartment, with the exception of the Space Needle, which is too big to fit inside, even if I could afford it. The 2 fish, upper left, and the 2 fanciful bird critters, upper left and right. So, I'm just going to go over here. Here are the fish. I see the 2 fish, the bird. That must be one of the birds I'm referring to. This might be the other one there. Of course, there's the rooster. We'll get to that in a moment here. Other objects include a metal airplane inside 2 coiled metal spheres. That would be this here. And 2 silver stars of David on chains, an Israeli coin, an ungapachkit wood, plastic, brass nail, and metal stand at bottom foreground center. I got it at a yard sale somewhere. Who remembers when? And dreidels, wood, upper left, and big plastic ones that open up, upper right. There's those. Now we're going to take a walk through my apartment studio. And here is the airplane inside the metal coils here. And now over this way. And there is the base, which I got many years ago. Okay, back over here now. And to continue, the chicken at the very top, I am so glad you asked. Truth be told, I can't pass up a good story. Here's the chicken. It was around 1925. My mom and her sister Rosa and brother Al were growing up in Englewood, New Jersey, right across from Upper Manhattan. My grandpa Harry, an immigrant from a village outside of Bialystok, Poland, and my grandma Sarah, who came from Bobroysk, Gdynia, Ukraine. Actually, it's Belarusia, not Ukraine. Had chickens in the backyard. Uncle Al had a pet chicken, a hen named Tattle. May her memory be blessed. Uncle Al was about 12 years old at the time. I don't know how old Tattle was. I don't even know how long chickens can live. If you're still a kid, you can call the Seattle Public Library quick info line at 206-386-4636 to find out. But whatever you do, don't tell them that I put you up to it. My mom had a pet chicken too, but I'll save that for the book to follow. Grandma, being an immigrant and mom of 3, was naturally very frugal when it came to food and everything else. Waste not, want not was probably coined with her in mind. Once a week the family ate meat, so it was chicken on Friday nights. Of course, this meant there was one less chicken running around the backyard coop. There's no way to break this news to you gently. One day, Grandma accidentally chopped off Toddle's head. She realized immediately afterwards, but darned if she was going to let a perfectly good chicken go to waste. Those of you who are pet owners know how attached we become to our pets. When Uncle Al returned home from school that day, Toddle wasn't to be found, and Grandma concocted some cockamamie story or another. And yes, grab onto your seatbelts now, the entire family ate Toddle that evening. No one, including Al, missed a beat. I can imagine Grandma thinking to herself as she slurps down a big spoonful over the kitchen stove, such a tasty chicken, this Toddle. A footnote, around 1955, and I'm a boy growing up in Queens, New York, and I've already heard the Toddle story. Uncle Al and his family live in Miami, and Grandma and Grandpa still live in Englewood. Al's around 42 years old now, and Grandma decides he is finally old enough and mature enough to handle this emotionally distressing and devastating news. Hoo-ha! How did Uncle Al react? Well, when I interviewed him on audio cassette tape 10 years ago, all he said was, "At that time, who cared?" So it is with love and fond remembrance of Grandma Sarah, who passed on in 1981 at the ripe age of 99, I dedicate this drawing to Tattle, a fine and delicious bird, if there ever was one. Another footnote. Uncle Al has been carving birds in wood, that is, since he retired 15 years ago. He's 85 now. When I visit Mom in Florida, Mom and I always get together with Al and Aunt Natalie, and we eat chicken. What else? One more footnote, the last, I promise. If Tattle was a white leghorn, why is she red in the drawing? I mistakenly recollect that she was a Rhode Island red for some reason, but Mom set me straight on the phone last week. You're calling all the way from Seattle to ask me if Tattle was a rooster or a hen, and no, she was a white leghorn, not a Rhode Island red. And if you, my dear reader, are a chicken eater, may every bite be tasty and memorable. There you have it. So back to the framed reproduction of the cover with the drawing. There are the Stars of David, the Israeli flag, again the dreidels, the airplane, the larger plastic dreidels there, like trumpet-like things. There's the base I pointed out in the cabinet, and there you have it. Uncle Al passed on, sadly, 2.5 years ago at 99 and 8 months of age after tripping outdoors, I'm sad to say. He remains in our memories. I own one of the carved birds he did in the years after he retired, and he took up carving and drawing. And this is it, beautifully done. It looks real. So there you have it. And thank you for listening to the story and for looking at the video and seeing the drawing here. There you have it.